Man, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy, the BowTie Fragrance Guy, on the channel where we focus primarily on fragrances, but I like to throw in some style and grooming tips as well. Look good, smell great. That's what we get into on this channel. So if you're into that, which I hope most of you guys are, make sure you hit subscribe. Don't forget to enable notifications by hitting the bell icon as well, so anytime a new video is uploaded to this channel on YouTube, you guys get notified. On today's video, guys, I'm going to be talking about some fragrances that older guys wear that turn on the ladies. Now, the reason that this video is a little bit different, obviously, when I said older guys, because these are fragrances that typically the younger generation of guys that love to smell good don't really wear these type scent profiles. And I know exactly what I'm talking about because I coach an AAU basketball team, guys between the ages of like 14 and 15, in that 16 range. And I know what kind of fragrances these guys like. Now, there are a lot of different reasons and things that play into the type of fragrances that younger guys typically wear, but I'll save that for another video. But they love things like the Azzaro, the Most Wanteds, the Jean Paul Gaultier, Le Males, you know, that kind of stuff. Those sweeter vanillic scent profiles. But a lot of older guys have a little bit more of a refined taste when it comes to fragrances. So I'm specifically talking about fragrances that have a refined taste, fragrances that maybe a little bit more expensive. That contributes to it a lot of times. Of course, somebody that's 17, 18 is not going to spend, you know, a lot of money on fragrances because a lot of times their parents are purchasing the fragrances. But there's a lot of different things that play into it. But I'm just specifically today talking about fragrances that older guys typically wear that turn the ladies on. So if you want to see what's on the list, you know the routine. Keep it locked right here. You guys don't want to miss this one. In the words of Charles Barkley, we're in for a barn burner. Let's go.
The BowTie Fragrance Guy.
All right, guys, we're back. Thank you so much for keeping it locked in. We're going to jump right into it. Remember, if you don't have my ebook, pick it up. I always have a link down in the description. I just think it's something that all gentlemen need to have, you know, in their reading, you know, wardrobe. So make sure you get the Gentleman's Blueprint and check it out. I'm coming out the gate swinging, man. I'm coming out the gate swinging. I'm swinging for the fences. I'm talking about this one from Creed, Royal Oud, Pink Pepper, Cedarwood, Angelica, Sandalwood, and of course there is some oud in the background. Guys, I'm just telling you, like I said, this is a scent profile that is for a little bit more mature, distinguished gentlemen. Yeah, because somebody young wear this, yes. And honestly, you know, if some young guys watch this video, you know, if you can get your hands on some of this stuff, maybe a sample, or just do like my son and go in my fragrance, you know, closet and just wear stuff. Well, whatever means you utilize to get your hands on it, maybe some young guys could benefit from wearing something that is different. But like I said, typically the more mature gentlemen tend to gravitate towards a scent profile like this, something that has, you know, those heavier, darker wood like cedarwood, the angelica root that gives it that earthiness. Again, it does have a little bit of oud in the background. But this is the kind of fragrance that women really love on a mature gentleman. How do I know? Because I'm a mature gentleman. And of course, you guys can see I have enough history with this because I wear it to know what I'm talking about. Always get compliments, or oftentimes, I would say, when I wear Royal Oud. It is a fragrance for a sophisticated older gentleman, you know, dressed well. It just smells absolutely amazing and complements this kind of attire quite perfectly, if I'm being honest. So check this one out, guys. This is kind of a classic, but man, I still think it doesn't get the love it deserves because it's so good. From the brand of Creed, check out Royal Oud. All right, guys, this next one's one I've talked about before on the channel, and it comes from the brand of Chanel. This is Sycamore. This is from the less exclusive collection. Cypress, tobacco, vetiver, and I would say probably sandalwood are some of the main notes in this beautiful fragrance. It is very woody, masculine, and sophisticated, and done in a classic way that only Chanel. There are other fragrances out there that kind of put you in the mindset of this. We have French Lover from Frederic Malle. and we have Creed Spice and Wood. They all have a very similar scent profile, and any one of them could have really been on this list. Woody, masculine, and green. And that's the way I would describe this kind of scent profile. And like I said, this is just for a little bit more, in my opinion, of mature gentlemen, but women really, really love this. Again, certain fragrances, whether you're old or young, just kind of fit a certain demographic. And like I said, those fragrances I mentioned earlier, the Azzaro, Most Wanted, that whole line, a little bit more of a younger, kind of aesthetic that really wears that fragrance profile well, if that makes sense. This is, again, for the sophisticated gentlemen out there, and ladies love it. From the brand of Chanel, check out Sycamore. All right, guys, next up, this fragrance comes from the brand of Clive Christian, and this is simply called Number One. Clive Christian Number One, the one in the gold bottle: nutmeg, cardamom, iris, amber. Some of the main notes in this fragrance. This is just beautiful. It is a powdery fragrance, but it does have a very traditional masculine feel to it. There's something about this fragrance that kind of screams throwback to 80s, early 90s, but it does have a modern twist to it. And again, in my humble opinion, like I said, one of the things that contributes to it, this is retail for about $700. And even though you can find it on discounters, again, this is just not the kind of scent profile that younger guys are going to wear because of the cost. Also, the kind of scent profile that it is, they don't really like those more traditional smelling fragrances. But like I said, it does have a modern twist. It fits the modern day gentleman perfectly. And I've had this fragrance now in my collection for a few months, and it is a fragrance that has gotten a lot of positive attention. So women do seem to really gravitate towards it, although it does kind of have that traditional feel to it. It still smells modern enough, at least on my skin, where people have really noticed it and have wanted to inquire about it. But check it out, guys. I really love this fragrance. Again, one from Clive Christian that I highly recommend. This is called Number One. All right, guys, the next fragrance comes from the brand of BowTie Victoria. Definitely for a more mature gentleman. Ladies go crazy over this stuff. This is Green Sapphire. Green Sapphire, it is insane. Raspberry, saffron, violet leaves. They have this like pine or pine needle accord with cedar wood. Absolutely amazing fragrance. Again, guys, I can't tell you how good this fragrance is. Now, there's a lot of fragrances I love from this brand. Blue Sapphire, one of my favorites. I think about that whole Zodiac collection, the Valiants. So many great fragrances, but when I talk about compliments from this brand, guys, this one stands out amongst the rest. Easily one of my most complimented fragrances from the brand of BowTie Victorious. And again, it's not a scent profile that everybody's going to gravitate towards, but it is for an older, sophisticated gentleman. I just think it fits, again, the aesthetic so well. It smells mature in a way, and it smells amazing. That saffron note is definitely a main player here. The pine and the cedar wood, I would say, are the main notes. It has just that right amount of kind of this almost bitter sweetness, fruitiness from the raspberry that complements, that accord perfectly. I think you guys, if you have never checked this out, this is one you definitely need to get your nose on. You got to put this one on skin, guys. From the brand of BowTie Victorious, this one is called Green Sapphire. Crazy, crazy compliments on this one. All amber fragrances are not created equal. And when you talk about a sexy amber fragrance, this is one that I have to tell you guys about. This complements, again, that old man, older gentleman aesthetic perfectly. From the brand of Max Milano, Tango. Tango. Benzoin, cinnamon, amber, tonka bean, and rose. Guys, listen. One of the great amber fragrances in my humble opinion. I still have to do my video where I talk about the best, count down all my amber fragrances and I rank them. That's going to be a tough video to do. That's why I haven't done it yet. And there's going to be quite a few fragrances on there. But this is going to be one of those fragrances that are somewhere near, that top 10% of my amber fragrances in my collection. The amber cinnamon combination in this is really pulls me into this fragrance every time I smell it. Every time I wear it. And again, if you talk about the sexy amber fragrance genre, this one right here is one of the best. Now, the name Tango, just think about it, guys. That's what she's gonna want to be doing. when they smell it's on your skin. Tango. All right, this stuff is, again, it's so sexy. Like I said, that cinnamon note really stands out to me, how that blends with the amber accord in this fragrance. Amazing stuff. Sexy, sexy, sexy. And it fits the older gentleman's aesthetic really well, from the brand of Mas Milano. Guys, check this one out, man. Do yourself a favor. Check out Tango. All right, guys, this time I want to go transition to a boozy scent profile. Amazing stuff from the brand by Kilian. Check out Old Fashioned. I got a nice dent in here. I love this stuff. It's wheat, Divana, plum, immortelle, and cedarwood are some of the main notes. Honestly, this is kind of a recreation of Single Malt by Kilian. And I always wanted, upset, I would say, that they discontinued Single Malt because it was one of the best Kilian fragrances. But this is kind of Single Malt reincarnated. It's boozy. And again, what makes this one so sexy and so appropriate for older gentlemen is, of course, the booziness of it. But I love the addition of that plum note. Now, they don't list plum as a note, but they had plum in Single Malt, and I picked some of that up here. So I guess I'm kind of going out on a limb there and saying that plum's in it, but I pick up that same kind of plum accord. So, hey, that's one of the things for me with this particular fragrance that made me fall so in love with Single Malt. And again, like I said, I picked it up here as well. Sexy fragrance, guys. Ladies love this. And older gentlemen out there, do yourself a favor and check it out. From the brand by Kilian. Check out Old Fashioned. All right, guys, next up, I'm going with another fragrance that has a boozy scent profile, but it's definitely old school player vibes all day long. One of the most slept on bonds as well is from the Dubai collection. This is Bond number 9, Dubai Gold. Dubai Gold. This is gold in a bottle. Saffron brandy, bitter orange, sandalwood and patchouli. Wow, this is so good. This is a sophisticated fragrance. Like I said, you guys know the theme of the video. Don't really see younger gentlemen really rocking this kind of scent profile, but that's okay. Like I said, there has to be something that kind of separates the men from the boys, as they say. And when we talk about fragrances, this is one of those fragrances that separates the men from the boys. It is definitely a fragrance I would say that older gentlemen gravitate towards more. Again, it's boozy. I would say just the right amount of sweetness here to kind of offset, the booziness of this fragrance, where even if a person is not really that much into boozy fragrances, they will still appreciate this one. Love the patchouli sandalwood dry down on this particular fragrance. And like I said, to me, it's one of the most slept on from the Dubai collection. To me, it is the best fragrance from the Dubai collection. I know a lot of people love indigo, which again is a great scent, but the best from the Dubai collection is this one, and women love it. So check it out. Again, it's from Bond number 9 Dubai collection. This is Dubai Gold. There are two fragrance profiles that are associated with being a little bit more classic and for more older, sophisticated gentlemen. I'm talking about fougères and, of course, chypres. Now, I want to talk to you guys about one of the most creative and one of the most sexy fougère fragrances I've ever put my nose on. I'm probably one of the only people that talks about this fragrance. It deserves more love. But man, when I tell you ladies love this fragrance, it is insane. From the brand of Tom Ford, Fuer Platine. Fuer Platine. This is lavender, basil, olibanum, honey, and tobacco. I don't even have words for it, man. I do not have words to tell you guys how good this is, in my opinion, and how much I love this fragrance. I love fougères because, again, I've always said, when you wear a suit, you can wear anything you want, but what pairs best with a suit is a great fougère or a great chypre fragrance. Two very traditional, old school, masculine, traditionally masculine scent profiles. And with this fragrance, you have the, of course, traditional, fougère vibe, but you threw some sweetness of honey and some tobacco and a little bit of spice of basil in the scent profile. And voila, you get this, in my opinion, masterpiece of a fragrance. Just put your nose on it, guys. I'm telling you, this is a sexy fragrance that older guys can definitely rock, and the ladies love it. Trust your boy on this. Check this one out from the brand of Tom Ford. This is Fuer Platine. All right, guys, the next fragrance comes from the brand of Parfums. This one is simply called Aude. Aude, sexy masculine gentleman fragrance, lemon verbena, rose, leather, sandalwood, and I love the spicy combination of nutmeg, cinnamon on the dry down. Guys, listen, I know I talk a lot about amber Aude from this collection, and honestly, you could have put amber Aude or musk Aude on this, on a list like this. Definitely something that, obviously, price point, all these different things, a younger guy not going to wear. They just don't gravitate towards this kind of stuff. They would probably smell this and be like, yeah, you know, and not really even think that it smells good. But the real ones know this kind of stuff is where it is. Sexy, beautiful amber rose combination, like I said, with those spices, those hints of spices with the cinnamon, nutmeg, dry down. Crazy, you know, responses to this fragrance. Performance is there, scent profile, smells amazing. Older guys, get your nose on this stuff. I'm telling you, do yourself a favor. Like I said, anything from this whole line, this amber Aude or musk Aude works. But specifically, I want to highlight this one. And this is simply called Aude from Parfums. All right, guys, and last but not least, I'm probably one of the only guys that kind of champion this fragrance, but I've always been that way. I march to the beat of my own drum. I like what I like, and what works on me works on me. It may not work for everybody else, and that's cool, in my opinion. But this one, when I talk about a fragrance for a more sophisticated older gentleman that ladies love, at least they've loved it on this gentleman, I'm going to tell you guys about this fragrance again from the brand of Aphrodisiac, Uncut Gem. Uncut Gem. Angelica, nutmeg, vetiver, leather, and amber, some of the main notes. Just get your nose on it, guys. Like I said, I didn't understand some of the commentary by some folks that smelled this fragrance saying it was designer-like, and some of the stuff that they compared it to, I really don't understand, but that's neither here nor there. It could be a conversation for another day, but I love this stuff. It works on my skin. It is sophisticated. You see a lot of the notes that I listed in the note breakdown of fragrances that are found in more traditionally masculine scent profiles like the leather, Angelica, and things of that nature. But it's definitely one that I highly recommend you get your nose on. You know, from the brand of Aphrodisiac. Check this one out, guys. Uncut Gem. But that is it, guys. That is my time. I hope you enjoyed this video today. As always, I sincerely appreciate you guys' time and your attention to these videos. You don't have to watch, but you do, and I sincerely appreciate that. Now, don't forget to take a few moments to like, comment, and subscribe. Please make sure you're sharing these videos out to some other folks that you think could use the information, find it entertaining. Because I'm your guy, Darren. I'm the BowTie fragrance guy. I love to look good, and of course, I love to smell fantastic. So until next time, keep looking good, keep smelling even better. I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.